Never give up. I'm fairly sure most of you have heard this line almost a million times. People think it's yet another cliche and thus don't take it seriously. Yes, it's one of the most common motivational phrases. It was said by every parent or every teacher to every student or every child. But that doesn't mean that it's not correct. It was relevant, it is relevant, and it will remain to be relevant. Well, most of us must have heard of Harry Potter, one of the biggest book series in the world. Can you imagine how many times J.K. Rowling pitched the idea to various publishing companies? She was rejected 12 times by 12 different publishing companies. And finally, on the 13th attempt, her book was published by Bloomsbury, and the rest, as they say, is history. But what if she had thought there was no more hope? What if she didn't believe in herself? What if she had given up after a couple failed attempts? Harry Potter wouldn't even be made. The world would not have seen that masterpiece. But she didn't. She kept trying and trying and trying. And finally, she succeeded. But this is definitely easier said than done. All of us have a fair share of mistakes. I too have tried some activities and not succeeded. When I was younger, I used to attend chess classes. I was the youngest player in my class and not that good. I remember coming back home, crying, feeling devastated that I couldn't learn the tactics. I told my dad that I was one of the worst chess players in my class, and he told me a story. He told me that Vishwanathan Anand wasn't always the best chess player in his class. He was the youngest and not that good. But he kept playing and practicing, and now he's regarded as the best chess player in India. After hearing that story, it inspired me. So for the next few days, I genuinely tried to improve in chess. But it all went in vain as I felt demotivated again. I asked my parents if I could quit, and they allowed me to do so. This wasn't the first time they allowed me to do so, mind you. At that point, I had quit a lot of co-curricular activities. Ballet, chess, swimming, USMS, Bharatanatyam, and that's just to name a few. I gave up. To this day, I regard it as the biggest mistake in my life. So I'll tell you this, never give up. But you might think that is easier said than done. The first failure might leave you devastated, leaving you unmotivated. If you felt this way, you are not alone. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has made at least one mistake in their life and failed at least once. Sure, it's disappointing that you're not the best swimmer or the best chess player that you know, but that doesn't mean that you can't improve. There will always be people who are better than you at a certain activity, but it doesn't mean that you can't learn, and learning is the most important part. Don't feel intimidated by people who are more skilled than you, because trust me, they've had a lot of practice. If I had given up on speaking, I wouldn't be here. If I had given up, I wouldn't be giving this talk. And I am so glad that I didn't. You should be persistent. So before I sign off, let me tell you this. I want you to take the plunge, try something new, and never give up. Thank you.